Today we're going to be simming year by year with updated rosters to see what the NFL would look like 10 years from now. We do have the Cleveland Browns, not just because Shedeur Sanders kind of like, I wouldn't say, sort of the face of the draft, but the biggest name of the draft. But more importantly, I do think, especially for Madden concerns, they probably did have the best draft, especially for Madden concerns. I think Shedeur is going to be a star. I think Judkin's going to be star dev. Fannin is probably going to be star development trade. You look at the defensive side of the ball, and where the hell is Mason Graham? Schweisinger, probably star development trait. And there he is. But yeah, Mason Graham likely also going to be at least star development trait. You're looking at 3 locks, I think. Sanders, Graham, and Judkins, with a likely 5 with Fannin and Schweisinger as well, which is why I'm going to be mainly following them, but obviously we're going to follow the whole league as a whole. If you like this video and you end up enjoying the video itself, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. We do a ton of franchise stuff on the channel, rebuilds, these types of simulation videos, and of course, our new main channel franchise, our relocation franchise, will be up tomorrow. So check that out for sure. Mean a ton to me. But let's get through this simulation and see maybe who wins the next 10 Super Bowls. All right, not a great start specifically for the Cleveland Browns. Let's take a look at the NFL standing and see if there's any teams you wouldn't expect to be up here. Some of these teams are a little high, right? Bills at 15 wins, Packers at 13 wins, but nothing really spectacular. The Saints at 12-5, that's obviously a special one. 11-6 for the Raiders is unexpected. Jaguars sort of unexpected, but I'd understand it, right? Like no one down there. It's really just those two teams, Raiders and Saints, that really would surprise me. But the Bengals, 6-11. I mean, I do have injuries on as well. We'll have to take a look, see if there was maybe some big injuries. We'll find that out by obviously looking at the stats. We're going to look directly at the Browns first, which, man, bad season for Shedeur Sanders, let me tell you. Then you had Judkins. They had like a split backfield. Not a great year for him, obviously. Maybe there were some injuries as well. Tillman, Judy, and Njoku were all right. Looking at the blocking, not great. Pass rush, Myles Garrett wasn't that great. Graham, 10 tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks. Not bad for a defensive tackle. But yeah, not a great season for the Browns specifically. Let's take a look at the league as a whole. We obviously want to see these rookies specifically. Mr. Mahomes, the number 1 quarterback for touchdowns and last picks. I mean, I suppose you technically have Love with a little bit lower, but as far as touchdown to pick ratio, Mahomes and Love right up there. 1-1 pretty much. Looking at the yards, Mahomes does lead that as well. Cam Ward, 38 touchdowns, 25 picks. Yeah, it's a lot of picks, but 4,555 yards is insane as well. Wow, what a year he had. Bryce Young, a lot of picks, but a good year. Anthony Richardson, Colts would love that. Joe Burrow was solid. Matthew Stafford was solid. Where is that one fella? Where is that Aaron Rodgers fella? 32 touchdowns, 16 picks, 3,600 yards. That's a great year. The Steelers would once again love that as well. Any other rookies start? I don't think so. Mac Jones played because Purdy got hurt, it seems. Rushing, Josh Jacobs, number 1 yards, 2 of the most touchdowns. Josh Allen, pure running back, though, it was Derrick Henry and Najee Harris. The power backs are regaining the lead. The league, if you will. Genty, 1,100 yards, 14 touchdowns. Yards per carry is not great, but that line isn't great either. It's a good season. Definitely a good season, especially for Madden concerns. It's like an elite season. Any of the other rookies in there? I don't see. Oh, yeah, Henderson to 634 yards. It's okay. Once again, we've seen Judkins already. Pretty lackluster outside of Genty, though, for the most part. Then we have wide receiver. Any of the rookies up here? Travis Hunter, 1,157 yards, 9 touchdowns. Better than Brian Thomas. Not a bad year at all, obviously. Where the hell is... we see Tyler Warren, almost 1,000 yards with 8 touchdowns for the Colts. It's a great year, obviously. Can't be mad with those numbers. McMillan, 849, 4 touchdowns. You would probably expect more, especially since he's like by far the number 1 now, but it's still a decent year. It's the Panthers after all. Any other youngsters in here? Any other rookies? Hey, okay, the Raiders, there's a reason why they were good, I guess. Gets a decent rookie class. Taylor, 670 yards, 4 touchdowns. And it only kind of gets worse from there. Blocking, I'm going to see some rookies up here giving up a lot, right? Will Campbell giving up 17 sacks is crazy. More likely to play guard anyways, but I just let it fly. I just played it how I lied. Kelvin Banks Jr. with 11 sacks allowed. Not great stuff there. What about the pass rushers? Micah Parsons, Max Crosby, some pretty weak numbers, though, for edge. Usually we're seeing at least somebody in the 20s, but not this time. Might have to go manually to each of these teams unless, the likes of Carter just didn't have a good year. We haven't seen him yet. And no, he just didn't have a good year. 1.5 sacks, 441 snaps. I guess they started Thibodeau over him, which, was obviously a terrible decision. Scorton, 0 sacks. Uman Mielen, only 2. Jalen Walker with a singular sack. Pierce with 0. Walker has no excuse. He actually played, but Pierce, they didn't start. Interceptions, any of the DBs have themselves quite a year? No? Not seeing anything going on here. Take a look at the awards, rookie awards. MVP goes to Josh Allen. For the AFC side, the Offensive Rookie of the Year was Ashton Jeanty, with Travis Hunter close behind at 2. Defensive Rookie of the Year ends up going to Darian Porter of the Raiders, with Shamar Stewart not far behind either. Looking at the other awards, though, these are what you're looking at. And then, of course, we do want to go over to the NFC side now, where Rookie of the Year goes to Egbuka of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. McMillan right behind him. Defensive Rookie of the Year ends up going to Colin Oliver of the Packers. Now, that would be out of left field. All the other ones, I guess Raiders, both Defensive Rookies of the Year was kind of out of left field for sure. Best QB goes to Jordan Love. McCaffrey with Best Running Back. St. Brown with Best Wide Receiver. Andrew Wiley, Best Offensive Lineman of the Year. Pretty impressive stuff there. But let's actually see how year one officially finished, as we are going to be simulating to the Super Bowl. See if the Saints, Raiders, could you imagine they match up in the Super Bowl together? I wouldn't hate it. I'd be rooting for the Raiders. They've been on, okay, it's the Packers versus Bills. But because of all the years of them just drafting pure speed, the last guy that they drafted was super speedy, maybe not the best choice. Always how I love to draft in Madden, and, they're kind of like a second team to me a little bit. The Packers win 31-28 over the Bills. And then there's the Steelers getting rid of Aaron Rodgers. He retired. Hayward's like, yeah, it's over. We couldn't do it with Rodgers. I'm done. I'm out of here. But that is year one in the books. Not exactly sure how I want to do this going forward, because that year one took a long time. We'll probably just, go through and highlight some of the best players, especially from the rookie class. Looking at the draft, the first pick overall goes to the Panthers. They take a left tackle. The Titans with number 2 overall, and they get themselves a wide receiver. Everett, 6'4", 95 speed, 99 jumping. This is a good wide receiver. The Titans making some pretty good draft picks back-to-back years now. An X factor on top, but that's actually a really good wide receiver for sure. Quarterback goes to the Rams. They go QB. Any other teams going QB? You got the Giants. Dart might not be the guy. Seahawks, Jalen Milroe, Sam Darnold, maybe not the guys, according to the game. Any other high overalls here? It's going to be hard to kind of look at every single team, so we're going to have to kind of pick and choose our battles. Obviously, you got to take a look at Everett because he was insane, but there you have it. Any, crazy speedy quarterbacks is going to slowly turn into the simming 30 years with max draft class sliders. But, fair enough draft. And I gotta say, the Browns did not have much better of a situation going on for themselves. Although Sanders did have a much better season, Judkins also a much better season. What about Mason Graham? Much better season, 19 sacks, tackles for a loss, 8 sacks. When you consider, Myles Garrett had 8.5 sacks, he had a better season than him. Obviously, you'd be looking at that, well, Myles was probably, double team, triple team, maybe even got hurt for all we know. Felt like it was smart to put the injuries on just because it's kind of how the league works, right? For rebuilds, it's a one-off. One chance to rebuild them, whereas this is like a one-off for the entire league. So it's like, okay, that's fine. It's a one-off for the league, whereas the other ones, it's specifically that team. We want to see those guys in action, right? Looking at some of the quarterback numbers, the guys are killing it. Cam Ward, 32 touchdowns, 22 picks. Now it's becoming a problem. Now it's like, okay, wait a minute. Did we just draft Jameis Winston? Because that is not looking super great. Any other rookies getting into the starting lineup from this last draft class? I'm not seeing it. Sam Driscoll, the rookie that they drafted, is in there, though. And then Jeanty, after one short year, only on Superstar Dev, mind you, 1,500 yards. Maybe now he's an X Factor because of last year, but no, he's still Superstar Dev, 93 overall in fairness, 140% sliders. It's really not even that crazy, to be honest, especially since we're not playing the games. You're playing the games on that slider. It'd be 99 overall. But yeah, what a year he had. He is now arguably the best running back in the entire league. Quinshon Judkins obviously had a great year. Anyone else, like Henderson maybe? He had an okay year last year, and slightly improved, 700 yards. I think he only had 600 yards before. Fair enough. Wide receivers, anyone going on here? Where's Hunter? Hunter getting, no, he's still up there. About 1,100 yards again, 7 touchdowns. So far, the draft pick made sense. It worked out. Lewis Everett, we've been kind of paying attention to him. Great stuff there. What about Tyler Warren? Tyler Warren, 986. What's actually happened with Loveland, though? That's what I want to know. McMillan, a little bit better this year, 945 with 7 touchdowns. What about Loveland? Are the Bears regretting their decision or not? They definitely are. I don't even know where the hell he is. Did they just trade him? Did they release him? What the hell's going on here? They're just not playing him. Pass rusher got Shamar Stewart with 11 sacks. That's a pretty good season. Pierce, 8.5 after finally starting. Zaraku, 6 sacks for the Cowboys, 6 for Jalen Walker on the Falcons, 6 for Collins anyways of the Niners. Walter Nolan, nice to see his name show up, 5.5. Interceptions, any big numbers? Starks with 6 picks. Pretty good year for him, obviously. But the corner's kind of a little lackluster out here. Not seeing anything spectacular. None of the real-life class won any awards, so we're just simming right through the Super Bowl right now. It is an Eagles-Chiefs matchup with the Eagles winning yet again. So they've definitely fully gotten that revenge as we're heading into year 3 now. I seen one of the rookies was actually drafted by the Browns, a super steal in the second round, the highest overall of the entire class. Kevin Buchanan, 79 overall cornerback. You know, one of these top 5 guys that you just know is going to be normal, but you got to take them because they're really good, and that obviously doesn't change here. He is very, very good. We did see a very fast player there, 97 speed in the first round. Jose Greer, if he's short, I don't care. 6 foot tall. Definitely looking like Devontae Smith. That is like the Devontae Smith build and vibe if I've ever seen it. Don't really care too much about the dev there. Let's take a look at any of the QBs, any speed, anything crazy. 6'6 overall for the Packers of all teams with a 92 speed. Is this one of those wide receiver builds? I got to see it because that definitely, if I had a bet on it, I'm assuming wide receiver / tight end build. Absolutely. Let's take a look. Am I right? And yeah, I am right. I mean, you can see it. You could see it. Pretty sick, actually. I need one of those players. I need to get one of those guys and move him to wide receiver / tight end. It would be generational. The Browns are getting closer, 9-8, but yes, they are still well short. Well, maybe not well short, but short. Sanders, technically a better season because those interceptions continue to fall. Judkins is obviously getting better. There's no arguing that one. And then Graham, a little bit of a setback, 6.5 sacks, 16 tackles for a loss for a defensive tackle, though. That's not bad. It's obviously not bad. Let's take a look across the league, though. Seems like we're going to be kind of down to just 2 real-life quarterbacks, Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders starting. Cam Ward, way better year, 4,500 yards, 36 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Got a couple of other new unique quarterbacks coming in. George Harris, the Steelers quarterback. The Rams of Dallas Dean. What a cool name, by the way. It's actually kind of sick. Dart, actually, no. He started 31 touchdowns, 23 picks, 3,700 yards. Not a great year, but they're giving him a shot. We love to see that. And then we look at the running backs. Genty overtaken by Jacobs, but with way more touchdowns, technically the better year. We should look back at the better other running backs, which I don't know if you're going to see any of them, right? Like we've seen like Judkins and Genty, and that's really it. Let's give him a chance. Yeah, Henderson, almost 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. Pretty cool. Definitely want to do a Patriots rebuild somewhat soon. Wide receivers, Jamar Chase retaking the lead as the league's best. Everett, what a year for him again. 7 touchdowns, but great yardage. Hunter almost into the 1,200-yard range. 5 touchdowns. Loveland, he's actually a saint. I guess he requested a trade because they just weren't using him. Huge year. 1,100 yards with 9 touchdowns. They use him 1 year, and he's just goated. That's pretty stupid, but sure. Egbuka, 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns. McMillan, 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. Another really good year. And will we see any other guys from real life? Probably a few here and there. Haven't seen Matthew Golden, though. I know at this point his actual overall kind of buries him. Warren, his worst year yet, technically. But still, you would have thought maybe he would have found his way out of there. Let's actually take a look at the Packers real quick, see what's going on. Is he just not starting? He is not starting. I guess we'll just have to see him in that Packers rebuild we end up doing sooner or later. As far as sacks allowed goes, you got 2 guys giving up 20 plus. Unbelievable. But we don't see Mr. William here anymore. Is that back-to-back Bears players? It is. But fair enough there. Wow, Zabel gave up freaking double-digiters as a guard. Oh, my. That is not good. Sack totals. Alfred Collins, 11.5 sacks. Derek Harmon, 11.5. We're all rooting for him. Shamar Stewart, 10.5 sacks for that guy. Anyone else? There you go. Abdul Carter, 7.5. It's still not what you would want from where they took him, but it's an improvement for sure. Interceptions, doesn't appear to be anything going on there. Genty wins best running back of the AFC. And we have the Chiefs versus the Lions. The Chiefs win the Super Bowl. Right, looking at the draft, we got an 82 overall, 6'2", 267, 90 finesse move, edge rusher from the Rams. I don't know how to explain it, and it might just be completely random, but the guy's build, the feel is not an X factor. Okay, I'm just talking. Why does anyone listen to me? Like, who even asked me? And there you go. The Browns are in the playoffs, 10-7. Let's take a look at those numbers. Got a couple of Packers on there. I'm going to notice the Packers. They're my team, all right? I'm going to notice them. Shedeur Sanders, yards aren't great, but the touchdown to pick ratio is solid. Rushing, Judkins' touchdowns are low, but his yards per carry keep on climbing. And, of course, we've been paying attention to Mason Graham, so let's continue it. Yeah, tackles for loss is good. Sacks, not bad, especially when, once again, you compare it to Myles Garrett. 2.5 sacks more, yet he's such a better player in game. I don't know why I said in game as if he's not going to be a better player in real life. Like, Mason Graham could be, the GOAT, and he's still arguably, not better than Myles Garrett. I mean, the ceiling is just not on his level, right? It's not going to happen. But he could be a very good player. Jordan Love, unbelievable. Darnold, unbelievable. The Saints, man. If the Saints are eyeing up one of your players, say, thank you very much, Saints, but we're going to keep them because you guys have the eye for talent. That means we've got ourselves the GOAT. And speaking of the GOAT, damn, look at Cam Ward. 37 touchdowns, 4 picks, 4,600 yards. Is Dart still starting, or is he not? He is. 23 touchdowns, 11 picks, just under 4,000 yards. Not looking too bad. Genty, 1,388 yards, 10 touchdowns. Judkins in the top 10 now. There you go. There's progress. Haven't seen Hampton start yet. The Charger just been rocking with Najee. And then I don't even see Henderson. There he is. He's not really moving along. As far as receivers go, we don't even see the Titans guy anymore. Noel, hey, there you go. It's on the Titans, but, 1,100 yards, 15 touchdowns. Anyone else? There he is. Speaking of, Everett. Titans have really looked good. Travis Hunter almost under 1,000 yards, but does get it and 9 touchdowns. So a good season yet again. Loveland, another really good year with the Saints. McMillan, 927, 4 touchdowns. I mean, it's not bad years. It's just you want your guy to be a 1,000-yard guy every season, especially when you draft him that high. Like Buka, about 900 yards, 5 touchdowns. Some decent numbers, I suppose. Let's take a look at the sacks. Max Crosby, Micah Parsons looking very, very good. Now that's Cam Martin. Ezaraku, 9 sacks. Okay. Harmon, 8.5. We love to see it. Abdul Carter, 8.5. Walter Nolan, 8. Shamar Stewart, 11 last year, 8 this year. Not great, but, basically 20 sacks in 2 years. And then Mason Graham picks 9 for Denzel Ward. Wow, what a season he had. But none of the real-life youngsters, unfortunately. And then for best O-lineman, the only award won by any of the real-life rookie class is Tyler Booker for best O-lineman. Nice. Well, the Browns didn't really make it too far in the playoffs. The Titans have actually made a Super Bowl. Cam Ward might be a Super Bowl champion here. Oh, damn, the Vikings have found themselves a very good running back. Jamie Levy, 99 juke move, very athletic, change directions good. This is a very good running back. Straight to the point. They know what they are. They know what they are. They're an elusive back. They don't have any fancy ratings. They only have start out, but they have 99 juke move, which is, kind of the highest you can go. And then, ironically enough, you have another guy, safety, who is probably also start ev. Usually, the running backs and safeties, no matter what their overall is, they're almost always start ev. I'm done. I'm done talking. I'm just done. And then we have another quarterback, ironically enough, on this Browns team. He's got a wide receiver build, but because he's hidden, I highly doubt he actually is. And yeah, he's not. If he was normal dev, maybe, but usually the hidden devs are just straight up quarterbacks. We're middle of this thing, year 5 now, so let's take a look. Who the hell are you? When did they get this guy? Cam Haynes, he's insane though. But yeah, let's take a look at the updated roster real quick. Shedeur Sanders, 86 overall. Pretty fair, right? Like, he's not like insane with it. Left tackle looks good. Wyatt Teller's still here. What the hell is going on around here? Really? Okay. And then let's take a look at the defensive side of the ball. Is Mason Graham still a star development trait? He is not. He's an X factor. Okay. Relax. 93 overall. He's good. He's very good. He's 99 everything pretty much, except for that freaking strength, which I probably need to override that in the save, put him at 85 strength. But yeah, the team actually looks pretty good. It's actually not bad at all. Schweisinger is only an 80 overall despite being superstar, unless that was a brand new thing that just happened. It's kind of absurd, no? Oh well. Either way, year 5. And the Browns are back to being bad. 7-10. Year 5, we'll just kind of look at some of the most important players or how well they play. Shedeur Sanders, good. I don't know where. Judkins got hurt. Damn. Okay, that's unfortunate. He played 2 games and died. That really sucks. Mason Graham, 12.5 sacks. Okay, his best year yet. Myles Garrett, a lot of tackles for loss, not a whole lot of sacks. Wasn't hurt, just not a good season. Cam Ward, 5,100 yards, 39 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. Dart, his best year, 35 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 3,800 yards. Genty is back on top, at least yards-wise. Henderson is just basically a thought of the past, and I'm really curious to see, like, what's even happening with Hampton. He's just like, they haven't used him at all. He's just being completely wasted. Egbuka, 1,250 yards with 10 touchdowns. Travis Hunter, 1,200 yards with 10 touchdowns. And we're following Everett at this rate as well, let's be real. Everett, 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns. Knoll, 1,175 with 15 touchdowns. The Titans have been cooking. Give them some credit. Loveland, 884 yards with 3 touchdowns. And honestly, if they don't have at least 1,000 yards, I don't really care, right? Like, yeah, who cares? Harmon, 14 sacks. Ezeraku, 14 sacks. Mason Graham, of course, 12.5. Anyone else in there? Shamar Turner, 11 sacks. Shamar Stewart, 11 sacks. Alfred Collins, 11 sacks. Okay, the real-life draft class is finally coming around a little bit. We got some elites. And we have another offensive lineman from the NFC winning Offensive Lineman of the Year, Donovan Jackson. And the Chiefs win another Super Bowl, this time over the Buccaneers. We've been seeing a couple of like new teams in there, here and there, but they just aren't winning. You know, we're through 5, and I don't think there's been a surprise Super Bowl winner yet. A couple of Super Bowl surprise competitors, just not actual winners. Yo, look at this quarterback. Mike Rollins, 6'4", 96 throw power, great accuracy, 98 speed, 97 excel, 95 agility, 97 change of direction, 88 juke move. His sense of pressure is average. Yeah, surely. He's just average at sense of pressure. Obviously, he's an X factor. That is crazy. And he's wearing 0. This guy has no chill. We have another guy, Magana, who, I mean, he's a big body dude, 99 spec catch. That's pretty insane, though. Is he X Factor? I don't know. I really don't know. He's not. He's superstar. Very good, though. Hey, Browns back at it, 10-7. Let's take a look at those numbers real quick. Magana already in the top 3 for wide receivers. Shedeur Sanders, I mean, he's definitely not being helped too much by this Browns scheme. Judkins back healthy, back on top. I know there'd be a lot of Browns fans that would be very nervous. They're like, oh, no, not again. Not again. Go to the running back. Has an injury, never the same. Don't do it to us. But no, he's back. Don't worry about it, he's back. And Ward, I think he had an injury too. Yeah, he missed 5 games. Very good touchdown to pick ratio. Yards are not bad. It's just, once again, an injury had occurred. I did see Dart is still starting. 28 touchdowns, 16 picks, 3,800 yards. Some Giants fans that would probably be wishing that he wasn't still after a season like that. Genty was great. Hampton, we were just talking about it, finally starting and finally going off. Top 5 running back in the league this year. Judkins obviously up there. Henderson let go as well. Let loose, if you will. Running backs, it's the year of the running back. Nice. And then Egbuka, he is starting to have his little Mike Evans run. Not quite the same because it's pretty hard to replicate, but he's cooking. Knoll has been great. McMillan, 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. Fine, good to see him climbing back up. Travis Hunter, 1,000 yards, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. Been seeing that a lot. Besh, look at him go. Not on the Raiders anymore, but sure. Anyone under, Tyler Warren barely makes the cut at 1,000 yards, but obviously for a tight end, that's ridiculous numbers. Blocking anyone up there? Doesn't seem to be so. Pass rushers, what do we got? Aiden Hutchinson, not really anyone from real life in this class. Walter Nolan, 12 sacks. There you go. Jalen Carter's a Raider. Ezaraku, 11 sacks. He's actually doing really well. Alfred Collins as well. Jalen Walker at 10. Nice. Did not look at the interceptions, though. We are now. Gonzalez, what a year for him. Parrish, okay. Haven't seen his name dropped yet. Fair enough. Let's take a look at the awards, which Jalen Walker wins when no one else does. And unfortunately, the Browns do fall short again. And the Super Bowl was won by the Packers. Sort of the first kind of surprising one, if you will. I don't know. The Packers, they fall short a lot, but would it be like shocking if they won? Probably not. But you wouldn't expect them to win, There's only one guy in the 80s, and that is quarterback Brandon Scott for the Arizona Cardinals. Pretty prototypical looking pocket passer. Dev of Superstar. Very good player nonetheless. Take a look at these QBs. Any speedsters? Ooh, a 95 speedster for the Jets. Nick Smith, 6'1". I highly doubt he's like a wide receiver type or anything like that. He just looks like a really good quarterback straight up with a ton of speed, but I always got to check. Anyone with speed, I got to check, and unfortunately, no. 7-10, Browns just, they keep going in cycles. Judkins, the third best yards. Genty, the second best. Shedeur Sanders, okay season. Judkins, obviously impressive. What about Mr. Mason Graham? He is back up to the double digits, 12. Really good year for him. Jared Goff's a Cowboy, and he has 46 touchdowns on the year. Ward, back to being healthy, 34 touchdowns, 9 picks, 4,600 yards. Dart with his best year, 39 touchdowns, 15 picks, 4,300 yards. Running backs, Genty, 1,274 yards, 11 touchdowns. Judkins obviously had a great year. But not a lot of other guys in the thousands. Wide receiver Everett was great. Besh, great year for him. Jalen Knoll, he's been great for the last 4 seasons now. Buka's great. What about Warren? Where's Warren? McMillan barely making the list. Hunter barely making the list. Does have 12 touchdowns though. And unfortunately, I don't think we're going to have Warren on this list unless I missed him. Pass rush aid, Alfred Collins. He might be the best. 13.5 sacks. He's one of the most consistent performers up here. Obviously, we see Mason Graham. Thibodeau, a Panther. All right. Shamar Stewart, 12. Anyone else? Jalen Walker, 11.5. Walker's starting to, kind of prove himself as a consistent performer. TJ Sanders, 10.5 sacks. Josiah Stewart, 10.5. Okay. Looking at picks. Haven't really seen the picks from most of the guys, though. I think the most we've seen is 4 from one of the real-life rookies. Josiah Stewart wins best linebacker for the AFC. Hey, we got a new team winning the Super Bowl no matter what. A team we would not have expected. It's either the Colts or the Vikings, and the winner is the Colts. 30-24. New isn't obviously it's not like they haven't won a Super Bowl. At least the Colts haven't won a Super Bowl. It's just in Madden realm, it's a new team, right? We haven't seen those guys really winning many Super Bowls. Josh Jacobs retires. I get it, we're 7 or so years down the line, but it still just feels weird, right? And we're in the draft, and it's one of the most mid ones we've ever seen. Anything special going on here? Not really. Just it's a real mid draft. And the Browns are still missing the playoffs. 90 overall. I'm really curious to see where we are. It's what is this, year 8, I believe? Math is real hard, trust me. Let's take a look at the overall. So on 140 sliders, you're seeing most teams in the 88 to 89 range. So yeah, this is why, at least when I'm playing the franchise, franchises that aren't throwaways, right? Because rebuilds are throwaways, right? You do a 4 or 5 year rebuild. Yeah, that's it. It's a couple hours and you're done. As far as a franchise goes, though, there's you could do irreversible damage and the franchise is gone. And you want to play multiple years playing those games. So I usually leave them on base, even lower than base, sometimes under 100. The XP you get when you're actually playing is ridiculous half the time. But let's take a look at these numbers yet again. And there goes Shedeur Sanders, not looking great. Judkins, his worst year, but that's because he just didn't get many carries, right? His yards per carry were great. Just didn't get as many carries as maybe he has in the past. And it's not because of injury. They just didn't give him any carries. Garrett was great. Graham was even better than he was normally. especially from that DT role. Let's take a look at the rest of the guys. It's pretty much the same kind of guys, the same three, if you will, that we've been following because no one else got a chance. Ward, 37 touchdowns, 3 picks, 4,400 yards. Glad to see him, consistently healthy. And then Dart, 3,700 yards, 28 touchdowns, 12 picks. I thought he was injured. It's just, no, he was a little lower. Rollins missed 2 games, and he's still in the top half of the league. Running back, you got Genty back at the top spot, 14 touchdowns. I'm not really sure how, like a Judkins, though, two yards short. Henderson did have a good year, even though he's under 1,000. But yeah, I'm not sure how the Raiders have been playing, but as far as Genty goes, they can't blame him. He's been a good draft pick. Besh, 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns. Travis Hunter, 1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns. Some of these guys are starting to look like, the faces of the league, Noel, 1,100 yards with 17 touchdowns. Burden, 1,100 yards with about 8 touchdowns. Everett, another great year for him. We've been following him quite a bit. Loveland, 1,000 yards on the nose. What a guy. But I am actually curious right now to see what Noel looks like because he's been great for a while now. Only an 85 overall. I guess maybe just took too long to develop. Took too long to have these types of seasons, perhaps. Pass rush, Mason Graham was the highest of the bunch. Mike Green's name gets called out here. Tyleik Williams, 12.5 sacks, but for the Giants. Carruthers, 12 sacks. That's not the right Carruthers, is it? That is not. And honestly, who the hell even is Carruthers? I think I'm confusing him for Broughton, which I'm not really sure why I am. But Jalen Walker, 11.5 sacks. Harmon, 11.5 sacks. Those two are usually about the same numbers every single season. Alfred Collins, double digits. He's going to get his. Abdul Carter with 10. Michael Williams, 9.5. Haven't heard his name yet. Interceptions. Doesn't appear to be a name. For the AFC side, you get Ashton Genty winning best running back, Jalen Noel winning best wide receiver, and then Mike Green winning best linebacker, whereas the NFC had nothing. Another new one, Titans and Cardinals. Let's see it. Is it going to be the Titans finally? No, it's the Cardinals. Well, man. Titans, 2 chances now, haven't gotten it. Cardinals, Super Bowl champions, though. Draft recap, and we're seeing some quarterbacks, man. This 10-year run so far has been super strong at the quarterback position. I mean, even guys that aren't in the 80s, we've seen some really fast, good, a lot of hidden dev type players. We have another guy at guard and Sims. Pretty decent players, especially, once again, at that quarterback spot. As you can see in this one, a few guys in the 70s, 4 of them. 4 of them in the 70-plus range. The Browns, maybe not even deserved, but back in the playoffs and 9-8. Genty back at the top of the league. Shedeur Sanders, the picks are low, but so are the touchdowns, man. Judkins over 1,000 yards with 12 touchdowns himself. And Mason Graham has shown himself to be one of the best defensive tackles in the entire league. Maybe even the best defensive tackle in the entire league. No? 15 sacks. He's a 99 overall. If you put these 2 things in the right, category, as far as pure rating goes, he is literally number 1, and that's once again without using these 2 upgrade points, which I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna do because you can't do. I was wondering. I was like, why? But why can't he go to 99 overall? Just because he has 99 block, shed, power, move, finesse, tackle, play, rec, awareness, pursuit, hit power. His strength even got up to an 83. It'd be awesome to do it because he'd probably get even more points into strength if you get into the 90s. And I mean, if he's already good now without any strength, what could he be like with some more of that? Let's take a look at the quarterbacking, though. Where is the Ward? The Warden, 30 touchdowns, 3 picks, 4,200 yards. Dart, Parks, not the same year, but, I mean, maybe brothers, arguably. One looks like a potato, and, well, the other one thinks he's Superman, I guess. I don't know where the hell Dart. There's Dart, 28 touchdowns, 4 picks, 2,500 yards. Still better than Shedeur at this point. I mean, it's obviously all playbook, but still. I'm just playing them how the facts are lying. Genty, once again, great performance. Judkins over 1,000 barely. Receivers, Odunze's been killing it. Egbuka has been for sure killing it. Hopefully I don't miss anyone. Matthew Golden sighting. Yeah, 86 over. I'd expect him to be pretty bad. 94 speed. Is he regressing? Because he should be slower. Oh, no, I changed him, I think. If I'm not mistaken, this class had him like 98 speed, which I get 4.29. But I'm going to be real. Even as a Packers fan, I don't see 4.29 speed with him. I see like 4.34, 4.36, which is really good still. But 4.29 is like... I don't know. He just, maybe it's because he was always being underthrown, which, would probably play a factor into it, and maybe he's just getting open too quickly before the ball's even thrown, but I didn't necessarily see 4.29. Very fast, but maybe not quite that fast. But Travis Hunter, really good. Noel, really good. Let's take a look at defense. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe what do you guys think? Do you think Matthew Golden's 4.29? I think he's up there, but somewhere in the 4.3 range, which, once again, is still elite. Alfred Collins, unbelievable, 18 sacks. He's been right up there with Mason Graham with, consistency and one of the best DTs in the league. Tyreek Williams, his time has finally come, it seems, in a good way. Michael Williams, 13 sacks. Abdul Carter with 12, as Araku with 11.5. We're seeing some numbers. Interceptions. One thing we haven't really seen, Parrish. This is not even the same Parrish. The Parrish I called out wasn't even the right Parrish. Damn, yeah, I don't know what it is. The pick's just really not great for this rookie class. MVP goes Anthony Richardson, which we haven't really paid attention to the MVP, but that's for a reason. I can, when we go back and look at all the Super Bowl winners, we can literally see that easily, and we'll see the Super Bowl MVP winners. Ashton Genty, the best running back yet again for like the 4 millionth time in a row, taking over the league at that position. And then on the NFC side, you do get Alfred Collins and Abdul Carter, so it's their turn now. Whereas normally, usually the AFC side, the NFC gets their comeuppance, if you will. A couple of teams actually also keeping these guys long term. Most of them, haven't really changed around, but there's the freaking Browns losing right away again to the Raiders. Maybe the Raiders are going to the Super Bowl, who knows? And they are. They're going against the Eagles. Come on, Raiders, get Genty a ring. He deserves it. And it doesn't matter what he deserves because the Eagles are inevitable. 9-8, they take on the Raiders and win as we're headed to the draft for our final season. Fred Warner, a Packer? I'm down. And not quite a mid-draft. He's got a really fast quarterback here in Sean Williams. 6'3", hidden development trait, very fast, okay juke ability, great accuracies. Curious to see what that development trait is. Probably, I'm going to say star. Damn it. The Browns trying to go out with a bang, taking on the Raiders in the playoffs. Cam Ward, number one yards and touchdowns. Well, I don't know about touchdowns, but yards guy in the league. Sanders, decent. Judkins, missed some games, but that's not really an excuse because based on those numbers, he was not getting 300 yards in 3 games, right? His average per game was 50. Not the greatest. What about Mason Graham? He's been great. 12.5 sacks. Myles Garrett at 8.5. I can't believe Myles Garrett's still here, by the way. What age is he? Like at this point, well, I guess in real life, he'd be like 35 or 36 here, right? Because obviously he's a year behind and whatnot. 37. Well, damn. Let him cook. Okay, I mean, that's great. Fantastic. Let's take a look at the rest of the league while we're here. We've got ourselves Cam Ward, the number one yards guy in the league. Number 2 for touchdowns, tied with a bunch of players. Rollins, you'd expect him. You would have expected him sooner or later to take over because those ratings, dude, super fast, just super good. What about, is Joe Burrow a Raven? Well, that is definitely interesting. Anything for Mr. Dart? Dart, 23 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 3,200 yards. And, there's that. Let's take a look at the running backs. Where's Genty? Genty's regressing, maybe. 4.3 yards per carry is pretty good, though. 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. And everyone else under, the 1,000-yard, pretty much double-digit touchdown, rank. Besh, really good. He's just, been really good ever since that one season. He just hasn't really looked back. Everett has been great this entire time. Egbuka, great this entire time. Hunter, great this entire time. McMillan, great for the last, good couple of years. Noel, he's been great for a while as well. And we will see no one else in that 1,000-yard mark. Would love to see where Warren is. Loveland, 876 yards. Yeah, the Saints got Loveland, and they never looked bad. They're like, yeah, you're a Saint for life, buddy. Sack totals. What do we got for these guys? Been seeing this Westerman guy quite often, though, I will admit. Michael Williams, 13.5 sacks. Jalen Carter's still a Raider. I'm surprised they could afford him. Jalen Walker, 13 sacks. Mason Graham, 12.5. Alfred Collins, 12. Harmon, 12. Williams, 11.5. The guys started, is Araku, 10.5, but he's a Seahawk. Abdul Carter, 9.5. TJ Sanders, 9.5. The guys did step in the league, and, they filled the needs of, the previous guys kind of phasing out. Barrett Carter, 5 interceptions. Nice to see his name in there. MVP of the league, once again, Anthony Richardson. And we see Offensive Lineman of the Year winner, Savaniah. And for the NFC side, best linebacker goes to Jalen Walker. Here it is, though. The final season. the final offseason, or postseason, I should say, that we are going to be witnessing. Could you imagine the Browns actually won a Super Bowl here? That'd be insane. They do beat the Raiders, but they have a new injury. Who is that injured player? I have no idea. And will we find out if that was a really key injury because the Ravens did cook him? I mean, he's a running back. It sucks, but it's not the end of the world. Let's take a look at who wins the Super Bowl, as it's clearly not the Browns. And another unexpected one. You have the Jaguars and the Commanders taking on each other. Obviously, it's not like you'd be shocked, I'd say, but it is surprising to see one of these teams win the Super Bowl, the Jaguars being that team. And with that, we've completed 10 seasons. Let's take a look at those Super Bowl winners, though. So, of course, the Jaguars win. The MVP of the league, Super Bowl was Trevor Lawrence. The MVP of the league, though, of course, Anthony Richardson. Year before that, the Eagles winning it. Lamar Jackson was the Super Bowl MVP as an Eagle. Anthony Richardson, of course, wins that MVP. And then, of course, the year before that, the Cardinals win the Super Bowl with Luther Burden being the Super Bowl MVP and Trevor Lawrence being the regular season MVP. The Colts win the year before that. Anthony Richardson is the Super Bowl MVP and regular MVP, becoming one of the greatest quarterbacks in the league, maybe ever, especially with all those MVP wins. Packers win a Super Bowl over the Ravens. Quay Walker was the Super Bowl MVP. That's a crazy one. Regular league MVP is Brock Purdy. Year before that was the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes wins MVP of the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts wins the MVP of the regular season. Nothing really spectacular going on there. Pretty standard, expected stuff. MVP of the Super Bowl is Aiden Hutchinson as the Lions beat the Titans. Josh Allen was your regular season MVP. Year before that, the Chiefs winning over the Lions, who were just so close. MVP for Mahomes, regular season MVP for Josh Allen. And then the year before that, you have the Eagles beating the Chiefs. Lamar Jackson's your regular season MVP with Jalen Hurts winning the Super Bowl MVP. And then the year before that, the Packers win against the Bills. Jordan Love's the MVP of the Super Bowl. Josh Allen, the MVP of the league. We are not done, though, as we want to see if there's any updates to the legacy leaderboards. Mahomes is higher than anyone in the league. Lamar Jackson right behind him. Josh Allen right behind him. Max Crosby, a Hall of Famer, retiring with 0 Super Bowls, 0 championships, but 22 awards, 35,000 legacy. So a lot of guys very high in the legacy. Many in the 30,000 mark. He's a Jet now. Jalen Hurts is. Anthony Richardson, 26,000 yards. I don't know how the hell he doesn't have... Well, I guess maybe actually probably still one behind Rodgers for MVP and has the same Super Bowl. So very close, just not quite there. But I do want to see the career stats of some of the guys, if you will. Let's take a look at the league here. So yardage-wise, where are some of those real-life names? We see Ward, 343 touchdowns, 100 picks on the nose, 44,000 yards. Completion percentage of 72%, which is really good. Passer rating of 111.0. Yards per attempt, 8.4. Long in his career, 95. Where are the rest of the fellas? Dart. Sanders actually a little bit higher than that. It's 261 touchdowns, 92 picks, 34,000 yards. Not great for a guy that, started this whole time, at least some Madden greats. But if that was real-life numbers, that would not be bad at all. Dart, worse, right? Same picks, but less touchdowns, less yards. But I guess technically a higher passer rating because he had a better yards per attempt, which that is the ultimate way to decide and show how bad the playbook screwed Shador out. Genty, though, nearing the end of his career, 13,000 yards, 118 touchdowns, great numbers. Judkins, just under 10,000 yards. He'll probably get there, barely crawling across that finish line. 92 touchdowns for him. And then the rest, not great numbers, right? We're not seeing anybody else here. Like Hampton, 44 yards, 53 touchdowns. Just, it took too long for them to finally start him. Receiving, I'm on Ross Brown. Look at him go. Where are the likes of Joel, though? Because I think he might be the highest. No, he's not. It's Travis Hunter, 11,000 yards, 80 touchdowns. Anyone else? Igbuka, 10,000 yards, 89 touchdowns. This is all after 10 seasons, obviously. Love Everett, anyways. Lewis Everett, 10,000 yards with 60 touchdowns. McMillan just under 10,000 yards with 57 touchdowns. So definitely didn't quite get that Mike Evans type they were hoping for. Besh, though, wasn't really on the list for a while. Then finally, started doing well. And here he is, 9,200 yards, 71 touchdowns. Tyler Warren, though, maybe disappeared a little bit at one point, but 8,500 yards and 54 touchdowns. Very good stuff. Noel over 100 touchdowns. Really put up a lot of scores. 8,200 yards in general. And you got Burden, 7,500 yards, 44 TDs. Loveland also an X-Factor like Warren, 7,300 yards, 52 touchdowns, which is really good considering, once again, the Bears completely wasted him. Mason Taylor, really didn't see his name much, but he's not too far off of Loveland. And then, of course, we've seen Matthew Golden barely get in there. What about sacks? Likes of Will Campbell maybe up there? He has the most sacks of any active player allowed. That's crazy because there's guys like freaking Sewell. Well, to be fair, that's not much more than Sewell, who have 13 sacks, 13 seasons, but maybe 20 sacks less. Sack total, speaking of, though, Aiden Hutchinson at 185. Any of those real-life guys? Yeah, Alfred Collins, 110. He's an X Factor, which is pretty cool. Mason Graham, 97.5. Michael Williams with 90. As a Raku, 85.5. Shamar Stewart, 76.5. Harmon, 76. Jalen Walker, 75. Walter Nolan, 74.5. Anyone else? Carter's not the guy we thought he was. Abdul Carter, only 60.5 sacks. Probably not worth it in the end if this is what is to happen, especially when you consider what the guys around the league are doing. TJ Sanders, 52.5. Tyleik Williams, 52. Kenneth Grant, surprisingly, 50.5. Not really a pass rusher. Mike Green, 50.5, which is not great. It's okay, but not great. Interceptions, any names? Can't imagine so. It's pretty tame interceptions in general, let alone from the class itself. No one even in the 20s. Taking a look at the career record books, only one was broken with Max Crosby, 2031, 205 sacks in his career. Crazy numbers. NFL season, Miller, 27 with 26 touchdowns. Sacks, 2032 with 25 for Anderson. No other awards were won, and then game awards are almost never going to happen unless you're actually usering. As far as rookie seasons go, we do have the yards passing in a season broken, with also the yards passing for touchdowns anyways, broken by Cam Ward. So Cam Ward definitely a very impressive guy in this one. And then, of course, rookie game, not going to beat any of those, unfortunately. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for this one. Was there anyone that surprised you? I'd say that I'm surprised that Alfred Collins cooked as hard as he did. And also surprised that Hampton didn't get a chance earlier. But, yeah, I mean, pretty standard stuff, pretty expected. Shedeur Sanders, with this scheme, wasn't expecting much. I suppose Cam Ward did exceed expectations. Genty, obviously, was amazing in this one. So good. McMillan, I thought he would have done a little bit better. Knoll surprised me. That was a guy that I did not expect to do well. Thought he would have been buried because even, guys like Matthew Golden had half the yards Knoll did. Definitely half the touchdowns as well. He thought he would have been buried, but he didn't. Kind of came out strong and looked great. Loveland didn't even get to start with the Bears and yet ended up, right up there with Warren. So seems like either tight end would have been a good choice no matter what. Just the Bears, for some reason, in this sim weren't really using them. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. If you guys have any other ideas that you would like to see, us implement with the rookie class, let me know in the comment section below. Maybe leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. We do a ton of franchise stuff on the channel. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel, PK Plays, for non-Madden content, which you'll probably see some Oblivion tomorrow. You would have seen it yesterday, I imagine. As far as this video goes, I think you'll see a rebuild a little later today. And then, of course, the start of our relocation franchise tomorrow, probably around 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Anyways, though, as always, there's a ton of content upcoming, so be on the lookout for that. And also, as always, appreciate y'all for watching. Hopefully come back for next video, but until next video, see ya. And always shout out to the members of the channel. Appreciate you guys a ton. If you are not new, maybe click the join button next to the subscribe button. All the details will be in there for what you get for being a member. Definitely want to add a couple more emotes. Most people don't really use those too much. And then I don't even know how small those icons can be for subscriber like tiers and whatnot, but definitely want to change those if I can. I'm not 100% sure what YouTube's parameters are. I know they're pretty strict with that stuff. But yeah, monthly members rebuild on the 15th of every month, so check those out. And whether you're a member or not, appreciate y'all for watching, and see ya!